Welcome to the Stevia Show. It's the Stevia Show. Helping you expand on what you know. Throw in a meme of the week and a review of the screen. And you have a show that covers everything.
Hey, Team Stevia, and welcome to episode 92 of the Stevia Show.
A talk show podcast that covers pop culture, world news, local artistry, and everything in between.
As always, this is Steven.
And this is Lydia.
And we hope everybody is having a great day. Episode 92. This is a good number for us, Lydia.
It's a good number.
Yeah, it's a good number. Puts things into perspective considering that's our birth year. So this is 92 years of the 1900s. Gave us. Yeah. No. I mean, I feel like we're 92 with how this year is going. I'm just like, whatever.
God,
it's
literally though. Every month is like another year we've grown older.
Yeah. And then we have like little glimmers of hope, like what we'll talk about later with like cool games and movies coming out. But then it's like literally it's like something exciting and then it's just like bam, hits you right in the face. So,
yeah. And then it's just like, oh, just kidding.
Yeah,
canceled.
Cancel or something like that. So that's funny. Yes. So for the previous episode, we did talk with Cody from The Odyssey. So we would like to thank him for being on the show. Had a great time talking with him and streaming the awesome new single that they released. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. So today, for the first time in a while, it's just me and you. So this is going to be just a nice classic Stevia, and we're excited to do it. So we do have two memes of the week since we did miss last episode. So for the first time, Will in our Discord won the Edgelord title, and that was also his first time submitting for OC Friday. So it was like so he might as well just stop and just be
he's basically on top right now.
Right, and just be undefeated and never do it again. So that way you can claim that you're undefeated. So his meme was the Donald Trump meme with the I forget his name, but the guy who interviewed Trump on HBO, and he's looking at the paper and he looks all troubled, and it's Blake and Red Baron Pizza, and it said, "Give me pizza, please." So that was good. And then for the meme of the week, this week we had another video submission. So I think this was the second video submission meme, and so far those are 2 for 2 because my Power Rangers won one meme of the week, and then now Slam Smith has one with his video meme. So he kind of did like a dank meme / shit post type sort of thing where it was the sad dog and it said, "I don't want to be horny anymore, I just want monkey pants." And then it was dedicated to Joe, not because of the horniness, but because of the monkey pants. Because if you watched our stream from last week from Fall Guys, Joe was, God bless him, he was trying so hard to win, and he got close like 2 or 3 times just to get those monkey pants. So and he unfortunately did not win. I still haven't won on Fall Guys, so me neither. The quest will continue. Yes, and
amen
for sure. So Lydia, let's go ahead and skip to your media review because mine are going to be a lot quicker, and also still surprising that I have media reviews. I've been a totally different person this past week with movies.
I literally texted Steven and I was like, "Who are you? What have you done to my best friend?" Because my best friend doesn't watch. He has 4 media reviews, guys. Like
it's weird. 4.
What incarnation?
Yeah.
So I just have one. We watched Beautiful Boy, which was filmed and released in 2018. It's based on the best-selling pair of memoirs from father and son, David and Nick Sheff. Beautiful Boy chronicles the heartbreaking and inspiring experience of survival, relapse, and recovery in a family coping with addiction over many years. Basically, the big stars in this is Steve Carell, Mara Turney, and Timothy Chalamet, which everybody here knows that I am a big Timothy fan. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 67%. I am going to go ahead and give it a 7.5 out of 10. Or a 75%, I guess.
Ooh, okay.
So my notes on this movie is I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. The fact of the matter is it's a gut-wrenching true story about how addiction is a lot harder to beat than most people think. It's definitely an illness, and it's hard for a lot of people, and that's basically what this movie shows. And it really kind of puts it into perspective for you of what other people have to go through.
Absolutely. Now was this, you're gonna hear my dogs in the background. Now, was this guy or this person, I don't know if a father and son, yeah. So was this guy an alcoholic or a drug addict or like what?
Drug addict.
Gotcha.
Drug addict.
That's sad.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Very
I bet
sad.
that's a good movie. And with my track record now, I might actually go watch it because I've watched 4 and they're all relevant. They're all ones that I haven't seen. So that's
Yes.
good. So the first one, I'm just going to do it in order of like when I saw them. So the first one to start this kick was I, Tonya, which I really enjoyed. I would give that an 8.8 out of 10, starring Margot Robbie and Julianne Nicholson. Julianne Nicholson really stole the show, playing Tonya Harding's mom. So this is going to be it is based off of the true story about the 1992 or 1994 Winter Olympics, whenever Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan were going to be competing, and there was this whole plot about Tonya Harding getting her crew to like psych out Nancy Kerrigan, but it doesn't really work because instead of psyching it out, and this part is disputed whether or not she knew about it, they took a collapsible like police baton and clocked her in the knee. So the people affiliated with Tonya clonked Nancy Kerrigan in the knee, causing her not being able to miss out on practice. But then Nancy Kerrigan ends up doing better than Tonya at the Olympics. So really good movie. I would recommend that. Soundtrack's fantastic too. Then followed up by the movie Scoob Like Zoinks. So I saw that while visiting the in-laws. It was just on. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Cute and entertaining. Nothing really to write home about. It's cute. It was entertaining.
It's just, I mean, nothing is ever going to compare to the OG Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
so
for sure. And then this one's the highest
I'm
rated
impressed.
one that I have.
I'm impressed.
Yes,
So actually finally watched this movie.
Yes. So this one I gave a 9 out of 10, and this is going to be the legendary movie The Shining, which is weird because I love Stephen King books, and I typically do decent about seeing the movies, but haven't gotten around to the Shining. So basically, wow on Jack Nicholson's part. His facial expressions alone, you could teach a class on that for acting because he just nailed it. Like there's just no other word for it. He nailed it. So lots of great directing, of course, by the legendary Stanley Kubrick, and I can definitely see why it's an important piece of cinema. And I think this one you and I disagreed on for the rating because I remember you not really liking this movie whenever you saw it in theaters. So finally I saw Midsummer, and this is one that you reviewed when it came out back in 2019. I gave it a 7.4 out of 10. It was for sure a unique take on a horror movie. I'm not a big horror fan to begin with, but I like more of like the psychological stuff, and this one definitely messes with your head.
It does.
Yeah, so it was a really uncomfortable watch, and it's intentionally uncomfortable. So kudos to the director for making it uncomfortable. And it was neat how the premise of the movie like makes the light scary instead of the dark. So I thought that was cool, and I really liked the art style. I liked the directing and the premise better than I think I did the acting, except for Florence Pugh. I think she she did great in her role, but then the other people were just like your basic like horror movie tropes. Like the one guy, Mark, is like the guy you hope gets killed, and
every time,
right. So there's stuff like
Florence Pugh definitely like makes the movie.
I
mean, she's the best part of the movie for sure.
Her end scene, like I'm not going to spoil it because it's still a pretty recent movie. So her end scene, whenever they shoot the building and then they zoom in on her and then they cross it together, very good, very good,
so good.
So it's unfortunate. I wish they would have got better actors for the other people because that's what brought it down for me. But man, it gave me the
I can't remember what I ranked it. I think I gave it a 5 out of 10 or something. It did not go up on my it was not high on my list because I agree it was very awkward and uncomfortable, and it was just not the style of scary movie I like to watch, but also I didn't know it was going to be a scary movie. So I went into it not thinking about, knowing nothing about this movie.
Right.
And I just did not like it.
Well, and then
but I love Florence Pugh.
Yeah, and then the poster for it doesn't make it seem like it's really okay. I found it. Okay, so here is your movie review.
Oh, tell me.
Okay, so this was back in episode 76. So it took me how many episodes ago was that? 92 minus 76 is
14, 16.
16. So it took me 16 episodes, which really isn't that bad. So that was earlier this year. Boom. So we watched it same calendar year. Perfect. So
Impressive.
Very impressive. So you said, here were your notes, quote, you watched on Amazon Prime, Midsummer, WTF, a couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled Midsummer Festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat devolves into an increasingly bizarre and violent competition at the hands of a pagan cult. My score, my being Lydia, 5 out of 10. I love Florence Pugh, and that's about it. So you're still there.
Well, I'm still pretty accurate with that.
Yeah, for sure. And the notes, it's freaking weird. It is, very uncomfortable movie. So
wow, I'm so glad that I am still very consistent.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Perfect. So those are my media reviews. I would recommend all of them but Scoob. I mean, if Scoob's on, watch it. And if there's nothing better on, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great. So
yeah,
awesome. So
well, I just want to say I'm impressed with your movies and your watching ability. It's about time quarantine has caught up to you, where you have done something that we can talk about on here.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's not all just PBS on my screen, just most of the time.
But I do have a whole 75 other episodes of movies that you could probably.
Yeah, I will. I'll get there.
The Shining. I'm like 19. He's only in the 1980s, guys. Like, we have a long time for him to catch up.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I've already seen Citizen Kane, which was back in like the 1920s.
Oh,
so
good.
I watched that forever ago. So I don't have to start way back at the beginning of cinema and then work my way up. So thankfully, I'm just.
I watched Citizen Kane when we were freshmen in college during film class.
Yeah, that's when I saw it with Mr. Miller. So
yeah, me too.
Perfect. I think I had that class as a sophomore. Maybe I had it as a freshman. It was maybe we had that class together. We just didn't know each other. I don't know. Was it your fall semester freshman year?
Come on, I don't know.
Okay, true. Okay, well that's when it was for me. So
I don't remember things like that.
Okay,
I could go back and look at my transcript if you want.
Oh, we can figure it out later. It's probably not that big of a deal. Awesome. So for our main segment today, so the future is actually here. So Lydia, this was pretty interesting. What do we have?
The future is here, Steven.
Yes.
So, a Japanese company successfully tests a manned flying car for the first time in history. Sky Drive Inc. conducted the public demonstration on August 25th at the Toyota test field, one of the largest test fields in Japan. The car is named SD03, manned with a pilot, took off and circled the field for about 4 minutes. The SD03 is the world's smallest electrical vertical takeoff and landing vehicle and takes up the space of about 2 parked cars. It also has 8 motors to ensure safety in emergency situations.
Nice.
8 motors. A normal car has 1 motor.
Correct, right.
I just want to throw that out there.
I mean, really, for a flying car, though, that's really not that bad. I mean, I know we're nowhere near having this be like this isn't like Tesla, where they're just now starting to get electric cars to be as powerful as regular cars. So obviously, we're still like 60 years before that happens. But the fact that
in this article I read, they were saying that they were hoping to continue this and it would be available for purchase by 2023.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but I mean, still, you would think that.
Which I'm like, dang.
Yeah, that's in 3 years. But then here we're going to be talking in 2023 and be like, hey, Steven, did you get your SD03 yet? And I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. I'm still driving my Subaru. So, yeah. So that's super cool. And honestly, the fact that it's only 2 cars like combined, that's really not terrible for something that can fly. So so kudos to the company SkyDrive Inc. for doing something that obviously we couldn't do. So that's rad. Yeah. And then
we always have to, the Japanese created Pokemon. They created all kinds of good stuff. So I just always support the Japanese. They know what's going.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. So in Stanley Cup action, which is hockey for those playing at home, we are down to the final 4 teams. So in the Western Conference, it is down to the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. And in the Eastern Conference, it is down between the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the New York Islanders. Now, my friends in the St. Louis Blues did not do too hot. We were out in the first round, but conveniently,
Sad.
I have a favorite team in each division, and my Pacific Division team is actually Vegas, and my Metro Division team is actually the New York Islanders. So hopefully one of the teams that I support, not as much as the Blues, of course, will make it and win. So I personally think it will be the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Stanley Cup final. You heard it here first. Tampa Bay has been that team that has been like favored to win the Stanley Cup for like the past 5 or 6 years, and they never have. So they're kind of like closing in on that window, and and this is probably one of the last few years they'll be able to do that. But I kind of hope Vegas wins because I love a good underdog story, and they're the only team left that has not won the Stanley Cup because, of course, they're only a 3-year-old team.
Yeah,
but that's who I'm going for there.
Awesome. Hey, real quick before we move on, did we watch the Dallas Stars?
Yeah, we sure did. They played the Florida Panthers. Yeah.
They have the green.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yep, for sure. And then also sad news out of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Man, it was a really good Game 7, though. I mean,
it was a really good game.
I'm sure
we watched it here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to say less though because I think he's still a little hurt. So I'm gonna let you take this.
Oh, sure thing. Yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking, but it was a really good game. Probably one of honestly the best basketball games I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was so good.
I mean, and I've been on record like. I'm not a big fan of recent NBA. Well, now that Golden State's broken up, it's gotten a lot better. But the fact that like they won for like 16 years in a row, or it felt like that, didn't really care for that. So this year's been a lot better. But anyway, wow, what a Game 7! And even though the Thunder did indeed lose to the Houston Rockets, it was still a very good showing by a team, Oklahoma City, that wasn't even supposed to do this well because, of course, we lost.
Yeah, they gave them like a point. They gave him like 0.8% to even be in the playoffs or something.
Yeah, and the fact that we took the Houston Rockets, who, of course, Russel Westbrook is playing for them, James Harden is playing, like that is a stacked team. And and the fact that we took them to Game 7 was really good. So always
the whole series really was great to watch, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, like, and even though like Russell Westbrook isn't on the Thunder anymore, I still love him as a player. Like the fact that he stayed with the Thunder when he didn't have to.
He's great.
He got traded. He's just a all around great person and even better athlete. So even though Oklahoma City did lose, I do hope that Russell Westbrook gets a championship out of this because he is a world class.
Yeah,
athlete.
He deserves it. Yeah, for sure.
Also James Harden, he's exceptional too. So hopefully the Houston Rockets take it. So yeah, and then oh, go ahead.
Before we move on, I noticed you have your Carole Baskin shirt on.
Oh, I do. Oh no, we didn't put this on here, but here
we didn't put this on here, but I'm gonna I need to have this announcement.
And this is one of those things where we're talking about like 2020 does so great, and then bam, stuff like this happens.
The meme where it goes, "What did it end for you in 2020?" And it's Carole Baskin stars on Dancing with the Stars. Steven, I'm confused. How does somebody who probably killed their husband get to be on Dancing with the Stars? I thought she was under investigation still in Florida.
I thought she was too. And yeah, this whole thing's ridiculous. So I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. However, I am a fan of The Masked Singer. So thankfully she won't be on that we know of.
So for now.
For now anyway. But man, this just gets weird. Like I wonder if she's gonna get booed. Well, I mean, probably not because it's a studio audience. But I mean, I wonder what the actual crowd reaction is going to be because I already know Twitter.
There's no way they keep her on for a long time.
Oh no, and I already know Twitter's gonna roast this. I mean, we're already roasting this.
100%.
It's bad. And
I literally just don't even have words for this situation because I'm like, have we gone that far down the drain we have Carole Baskin? There's like 85,000 other famous people you could ask to be on Dancing with the Stars. I'm not even famous, and I would go on Dancing with the Stars, and I would be better than Carol Baskin.
Yeah, because you haven't killed anybody.
Correct.
Right.
I never killed my husband.
Now, what would be cool, I do, however, the only way I could see this working, which of course it can't right now, is if Joe Exotic wasn't in prison and then they were both on the show at the same time.
Now that would be a whole reality TV show I'd be willing to watch.
100, yeah, like it'd be like Celebrity Deathmatch, only it would be two crazy animal people, you know, fighting for whatever. But that would be the only way I could get to watch Carol Baskin dance, because right now I'm not a fan. But if they put Joe Exotic on with Carol Baskin to create
I don't think anybody's a fan. I feel like what I've seen on the internet is like, hello, this woman killed her husband. Why is she on Dancing with the Stars? Because I think they get paid. I think you get paid for that. Like the longer you go,
they're already rich.
Well, Carol's not rich.
She is. She's
her husband was rich, I guess. Anyways, we didn't put that on there, but I wanted to jump in on that. The craziness of America. Speaking of craziness of America, let's throw it over to politics.
Yes.
So we just have a quick little thing that happened in August. Judge Ian Thornhill ruled on August 27th, 2020, that 50,000 Lynn County, Iowa absentee ballot request forms were invalid. He's saying that these absentee ballots will not count because they were pre-filled when they were sent.
That's how you're supposed to fill them in. Huh.
It's just voter suppression. I mean, that's all. I mean, that's the end of that. So, I'm wondering how many more from now till, you know, I think you have to have it in by like October. No, you have to have it in by voting day, November 4th, right? November 3rd. So this is just like one of probably a million that are about to happen of people being like, oh, I'm a judge. I'm going to actually say that these are invalid. Sorry, 50,000 people can't vote now. And so all these people had to redo it. They have to redo their thing. Crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which is sad. And then another thing, really quick in politics, just to give you all a poll update, just because it's a good number, and you'll see why. Joe Biden is up 6.9% nationally.
Nice.
Thank you. And this is again nationally, but the races in Ohio and Pennsylvania are tightening, which of course is to be expected. So we still have a long way to go till November. But good news in the world of gaming. So the wildly successful Fall Guys, while it is a successful game, we for sure are not successful at it, but boy do we love it. I love it. So they announced their second season, which will feature a medieval theme, and they
cool.
And they also release a new, so they're doing more runs, but they're adding this secret, or not secret. They're adding like this level modifier that's random, and I think it's called like the Yeetus Maximus or whatever. It literally has it literally has yeet somewhere in there, and it's this big hammer that just spins around, and it's really hard to avoid. But the developers literally said the Yeetus Maximus is neither good nor evil. It's neutral, because it could either like launch you to the end of the level or just like send you flying off, depending on how you get hit. So I'm excited to see that for sure. And then what do we have next?
Do you know when the second season is?
October. I don't know what day, but they did say October, which is what I can remember.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I think, isn't it like 20 levels or something? I think I'm only on level like 11, so I need to play again.
I think I'm on 16 or 15. I can't remember, but I've been loving Fall Guys. Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And what do we have next?
But speaking of fun, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 lives up to the hype. Steve and I have been talking about this for a while. Ever since it was announced, I think in March or April, we've been pumped for this. IGN scored the game a whopping 9 out of 10. It's been a blast so far, full of nostalgia, and with the 2020 technical treatment. It looks like a very good... the game looks good.
It really does, and I'm glad Yeah, and I love how your Create a Skater like works for both THPS 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I like how they bundled it to where you don't have to switch between the games. You can just choose like which part of
You
what
can choose
game you
it.
want to play. Yeah, it's
So cool.
super cool.
Yeah, it's like embedded within a game, so you can play
Right.
both games within one game. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome for sure. And then out of the Nintendo camp, probably the worst kept secret. But so Super Mario, I don't know why I was
Meowier.
Yeah, I don't know. So Super Mario 3D All Stars was announced, and it is coming out this Friday. Your boy already pre-ordered it digitally. I am pumped.
Of course you did.
So Nintendo has remastered Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. This is part of Mario's 35th birthday celebration, and Nintendo has more planned for the iconic plumber, including a battle royale game like Tetris 99, where you're going to be playing world like an endless original Mario world from like, you know, the NES days. And, and you know, as you get knocked out, the last one in the level wins, which looks pretty fun.
That's pretty cool. So question, you said the remastered Super Mario 64. Is that what is coming out this Friday too, or when does that come out?
It's all together. So it's one game. So
Super Mario 3D All Stars is all together.
All three of those games, yes.
So I have to buy all three of the games. I can't just buy Super Mario 64.
Correct, right, but it's not. I don't think it's $60. I think it's only like $40 or $30. But for me, it was worth it because I played 64, played Sunshine, but I have not played Galaxy. So that's at least one.
64 is like my favorite Mario out of all the Marios.
Oh yeah, Super Mario 64 is good. I think my favorite is Odyssey. I loved Odyssey and still love playing it. But I also love Sunshine and 64. I mean, there really hasn't been a bad Mario game. Like,
I guess I'm gonna have to. I guess I'm gonna have to pre-order it.
Yeah, and I think you can pre-order the physical copy too, because I know you like having for the Switch like tangible games. But
I do.
Yeah, so we are for sure excited for that, and
we can stream those games. That's fun.
We can stream those games. Absolutely.
I just realized that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So NFL football starts this weekend, and I am so excited.
Me too.
I bet you're excited too, Steven. You do like to watch some football.
I like watching pro football because I'm not a big college football fan.
Yeah, college football started this past weekend, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steven, you want to place some bets on who we're going to see in the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, always, yeah. So we always put our way too early Super Bowl bets out like the week before the season starts. Lydia, you actually did pretty good with yours last year. I think I didn't do very well. I forgot maybe it was 2 years ago, but 1 year I did the Panthers and they did terrible because I thought Cam Newton was going to have a comeback.
because Cam Newton got hurt last year. I think it was last year.
But now he's playing for the Pats. So that'll be an interesting change in dynamic. So I do have to look at a cheat sheet between the AFC and the NFC. And and here is where the MLB and the NFL get docked points because in hockey and basketball, East-West, it makes it so much easier.
Easy peasy.
You just think of so it'd be like for the MLB, the Mets and the Yankees, both in New York, they're in separate conferences. So to me, that's so stupid. Like, why would you want a New York final? Like, if you're outside of New York, who cares at that point?
True.
Like, yeah.
Good point.
And then also just remembering the AFC and the NFC, it's all totally arbitrary. So I think the Super Bowl will be between, I'm going to say Kansas City and New Orleans. I think New Orleans and Kansas City are two of the deepest teams in the NFL. I don't know if Drew Brees will be able to play at the same caliber he did last year. But I do think that Kansas City will repeat, because if Mahomes shows up like he did that second half of the Super Bowl this year, they're unstoppable. He was insane in that game.
Oh, he was just wow.
Yeah, and that was overall a great game. The Garoppolo he was really good too, and yeah. So hopefully we get another good game this year. And who do you have?
So
Lydia?
I picked all three NFC teams because I guess I couldn't decide.
Okay.
I think So what I have for my NFC teams are the Chiefs, the 49ers, and the Packers because I will always throw the Packers in there because I love the Packers.
Yeah, and Pack did not do bad last year. Everybody, I didn't. Matt doubted you, and I said, you know what? I said, as I always say, if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, that team is unstoppable. And sure enough, up until the end, he was healthy.
So I think that just kidding. The Chiefs are AFC team. Duh. Hello.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be Chiefs 49ers.
Okay, you think it'd be a rematch?
I think it's going to be a rematch.
Okay. I would actually be down for that rematch because that was a really good game. And
I do think that the Buccaneers are going to go far because their team is just like...
Who do they have except Tom Brady?
Literally it's like Golden State, like their team. Okay, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna look it up.
They have Gronk. I know they have Gronk. They have Gronk and Tom Brady.
And they just got a new running back. Hold on, let me think about this.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, because I've been seeing a lot of sportscasters are saying that the Bucs are going to make a deep run, but I still stand by what I said earlier. Whenever it was found out that Tom Brady signed with the Bucs, I think they will be a playoff team, but I don't think they will make that big of a dent.
No, I think they're going to be a playoff team, but after this, they just got this week Leonard Fournette, who used to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
So they have it's just Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, John Franklin III, LaShawn McCoy, Leonard Fournette, OJ Howard. Yeah, like this offense for the Bucs is like the freaking Golden State Warriors.
Crazy. And I recognize that name, LaShawn McCoy, because he
was
actually played for the Bills, and he was one of the best running backs in that his stint that he was in.
Because he's got the muscle. He's shorter, but he's a big boy.
He's a big running back, which is good because if you are not only fast, but also if you're just like a physical unit like he is, you get this kind of like plow through everybody. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you think it will be a rematch? Who do you think will win?
I think the Chiefs take it. I think the Chiefs take it second year in a row.
I think so too, and the reason why.
But my audible is the Packers.
Okay.
Like if the Packers go to the Super Bowl, I also get to say that I won this bet because that's where I'm at.
Okay, fine. Okay, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Whatever, Lydia. Okay, so then for my wild card, I'm going to pick Washington football team. I'm just kidding.
Washington football team. Yeah, no, the Redskins?
No, the Washington football team. That's what they are now, Lydia. Come on.
Are they really?
Oh, I thought we talked about that. Yeah, let's say they are literally Washington football team until they figure this out, which is better than Redskins. I mean,
yes, 100%. It just took me a second to realize. Yeah. I thought you were being funny, and then I realized we weren't being funny.
I would rather be named Talk Show Podcast than a racist name that thankfully we don't have. But out of the two, I'd rather be not racist, obviously.
Yeah. I'd rather be a plant any day.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So moving on down the docket, we do have upcoming movies that we are excited for. And this one, whenever the trailer dropped, I sent Lydia a DM and I was like, Lydia, this is not a drill. Stop everything you're doing and watch now, because they totally surprised. They released the Batman trailer. And I know we're a week late on this, but that trailer had me feeling something for the first time again. Like it was so good. So
I watched it like 8 times.
Oh yeah, and I still watch it like every other day or something like that.
Honestly, me too, because it's so good. And the fact of the matter is they're still filming Batman. So they literally just did this for us. They did this to give us hope.
For us. Yeah. And,
like, the people behind the Batman gave us hope.
Yes, and whoever
for a better 2021.
Whoever was doubting Robert Pattinson owes him an apology. I think you and I were on Team Pattinson from the beginning.
Yes. Listen, I think we talked about this before, is because Robert Pattinson he gets such a bad rep from being Edward in Twilight, which by the way, he's a great Edward in Twilight. I would like to just say that.
It was the movie's fault, not his. Yeah.
But he is a phenomenal actor. In any movie he plays, I guarantee that you fall in love with Robert Pattinson for every single role he's ever played. I mean, he has not been in a bad movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's great. He literally is great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the end of it. And so when people are like, "Oh, Robert," I'm like, dude, he's about to kick ass in this Batman movie, and then we get to watch this trailer, and he's just like,
yeah,
with the black.
Oh, it's so emo and so gothic. That is like OG Batman. Like,
this is amazing.
This is like 2004 Hot Topic at the mall.
100%.
Right, and it's just the right amount of edgy that like we all have like that inner goth inside of us. And then this one with like the black eyeliner, I was like, I love it. Like, yes, Robert Pattinson, it is not a phase. Like, go. And then whenever there was that fight scene tease, and whenever he just stomped that guy, and whenever he said, "I'm vengeance." Oh my God.
Oh,
instead of saying,
it gave me chills. Like, I just even right then thinking about it, I was like,
because like, of course we were all expecting him to say, "I'm Batman," but then whenever, if you could somehow make the line, "I'm Batman," cooler, they did that. Like, if you just get your ass kicked by somebody and then they say, "Who are you supposed to be?" and then you get your ass kicked and then you hear Batman, you're like, oh man, like that's already super cool. But then if you say, "I'm vengeance," after you get it, like, oh man, that's
so
perfect.
Good.
And then we got to
good.
And then we got to see my favorite supervillain of all time, the Riddler, which you marked in here as my favorite, so I appreciate that. So we do get to see Paul Dano. He's actually what opens up the trailer, and this is like, again, like how the Riddler was supposed to be. He's duct taping this guy's face so he can't breathe, but he has all of like the clues and stuff like that. So the Jim Carrey Riddler, Jim Carrey did the best with what he had, but that of course wasn't the Riddler. Isn't like this wacky guy. He's a criminal. He's a genius. Like, that's his whole thing, and he uses the clues to like taunt people, and it's just so good. And then you also hear his voice whenever he says, "If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?" So obviously this movie is going to deal a lot with like corruption in Gotham City and stuff like that, and I am pumped for Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yes.
I am.
Oh, and I forgot Gordon. I forgot the guy who's playing Gordon.
Yes, his name.
He's my favorite. He's never a star, but he's always like the second guy, and he always does a fantastic
Jeffrey
job.
Wright is his name.
Yes, I love that guy.
Yeah, and he actually has a Tony, a Golden Globe, and an Emmy for the Broadway productions and the acclaimed HBO series Angels in America, which I haven't seen, but he was in 2 James Bond movies. What else? He's gonna be in the Batman. Oh, he's in Westworld. That's where I've seen him before. Oh, and he was in the Hunger Games. He's in
Westworld and he's in Hunger Games. Yes.
Yeah,
those are the ones that I know him from.
But no, you're absolutely right. He's Jeffrey Wright, and now that good thing we know his name, but he is for sure one of those actors you're like, I know I've seen you before, but what is your name?
You're like, I know him. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Every time. I always forget his name because I've had this conversation like 3 other times with people because I'm like, it's that guy that he's in the Hunger Games. He's so good. He's also in the Westworld.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then also we're gonna get to see Colin Farrell as the Penguin,
right? And it's cool because he's not in this. And I love how they're setting this up to be like a multi thing, because obviously, the main villain in this one's gonna be the Riddler, but you see Oswald Cobblepot, who Colin Farrell is playing, who becomes the Penguin. He's not the Penguin yet, so they're obviously setting it up that he's gonna be the guy in a future movie.
I mean, we're gonna get at least 3 movies out of this, and I'm pumped.
I'm stoked. And I mean, and everybody's like already saying, like, comparing it to Christopher Nolan's trilogy, and it's like they're not the same movies. Like Christopher Nolan's trilogy, while 3 of the best superhero movies of all time, that was like basically saying, hey, what if Batman and his villains were like real people, and he did a fantastic job at that. But the Batman is going back to Batman's origins as the greatest detective of all time, and this is what we're going to be seeing, and it's going to be amazing. It's
going to be so good. Also, too, I forgot that we're not really sure, but Josh Hutcherson is in this movie somehow, some way. Which who also PETA he plays PETA in Hunger Games and is in a lot of other movies.
Okay, he's another one of those guys. So he's in the Batman, but it's an undisclosed role.
Yeah.
Oh man. hang on. I'm looking it up now. Not that I don't believe you. I just want to see. Yeah. That's gonna be so good. I'm so stoked for that.
So really, they gave us hope. Oh, but they had to stop production, by the way.
Oh, right.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
because Robert has freaking COVID.
Yes, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully, I mean, obviously he's shredded now, so hopefully he'll be okay. His constitution's good, and that he will, of course, get through it. And we're excited for that. And I'm excited for this movie. I mean, this overall, very, very stoked.
Me too.
Yes, and then
Matt had the TV up to like volume 85,000.
Probably because
I couldn't hear myself think for a second.
He probably couldn't hear golf, so yeah.
No, he's trying to watch Hard Knocks Los Angeles without me. Is actually the real issue that we're having here.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, thankfully we just have a few more things. So what's new with Stevia League, Lydia?
Well, Stevia League Mario Kart tournament starts this week. Tune in. Oh my gosh.
You all right?
It's not COVID related. Okay, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay, you're fine.
Tune into our Facebook page on Tuesday and Thursday at. Did we decide on a time?
I think we normally do it at
7 p.m. to watch Team Stevia compete live for the title of Mario Kart Champion.
Yes.
And yeah, we can.
Oh, cool. Okay, dang it. Okay, because I was hoping this would be the first time that you would see this. So I put in here before we recorded, or before we started recording, I said, can we call it the Dale Senior Memorial Mario Kart League? And you just said yes. So yes, tune in on Tuesday for the Dale Senior Memorial Mario Kart League. Should be a blast. And now we are going to head off to Stevia Sound-Off, which is a section where Team Stevia sends us questions and takes, good or bad. We don't care. And as long as they are within reason, everyone on the show will answer them. And we post a weekly thread on our Instagram story and our Twitter, and we have a dedicated channel on our Discord for this section. So let's see what's in the mailbag this week. So STVN, who is your boy, he asks, what is your guilty pleasure movie, TV show, and band? And I was really stoked about this one, so I guess we could just popcorn them off. So Such a Mucking Fess replied that his guilty pleasure movie is 27 Dresses. Haven't seen it. And then his favorite...
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, is it like a chick flick? Is that why he said it was a guilt? Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Hey, there's no shame in that. I love chick flicks, you know.
No shame.
Yeah, no shame. And then his favorite band is one of these old pop punk bands called Rookies is Punked. They're okay. Definitely a guilty pleasure band.
JTag says movie Digimon, the first movie, which great movie.
Yeah.
TV Last Man Standing, band They Might Be Giants.
Yes. Okay. Last Man Standing is for sure a good one, and I actually like They Might Be Giants, but I understand that too. And then HPR wrote her favorite movie is making its second appearance in the show today. All of the Twilight films and Camp Rock, and then her guilty pleasure music is any 2000s Disney pop star music. So you had that.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, the Disney Channel Circle of Stars. Yes.
Yeah.
So
100%.
for me, my favorite guilty pleasure movie is Jingle All the Way, which is coincidentally my favorite Christmas movie, but I'm aware that it's a terrible movie, but I enjoy it. So back off, haters. And my guilty pleasure TV show is Hoarders and My 600-Pound Life. I hate admitting that I watch TLC for that, but you know what? Hey, this is what we do here. And my guilty pleasure bands are Avenged Sevenfold and Bullet for My Valentine, which, as we had a lengthy discussion this past Monday, both qualify as butt rock.
Butt rock. So I had the opportunity to ask Steven what guilty pleasure movie TV show actually meant because I was like, because here's the thing is that you guys know this. If a movie's bad, I don't watch it again. Like I only watch movies one time,
Right.
and if it's bad, I'm like, see you later. So I don't really have a guilty pleasure movie. So I guess I'm gonna have to jump on board with the Twilight movies. But I mean, compared to the books, they're awful. But I like those movies.
Right, and
I would say that they're probably a guilty pleasure because they are bad. So I would say that.
Well, I mean, I don't think a guilty pleasure has to necessarily mean that it's bad. It's like you said, 27 Dresses isn't a bad movie, but...
Oh, true. It is a good movie.
Right, but then if you're like, I guess it's like that bad stigma, like that, like if you're a dude and you have feelings, you're automatically not a man or whatever society says. So that's probably why it's stuff like that. But for me, it's
So I guess my guilty pleasure, I don't know. I just watch whatever I'm excited to watch that day, I guess. But the Twilight movies or 50 Shades of Grey would probably be a good guilty pleasure movie. And then my
okay.
my
Your reaction of that confirmed that that's your guilty pleasure movie. It's 50 Shades of Grey, Lydia. There you go. Okay.
and then my band would have to be Nickelback.
Yeah, no worries.
Again, I love me some good Nickelback, and I learned that they're butt rock, so it makes me even happier that they're Nickelback.
Butt rock 101. All right, so what question do we have next in the mailbag?
J Tag and Blake Westerby. So Joe Tagger and Blake Westerby asked a similar question, so we combined it. What is the most illegal thing you've done without technically breaking the law?
Yes. So for me, the thing that made me feel the most like a petty criminal, whenever I worked at NSU and I missed trash days at my house, I would always use NSU's dumpster. So, I mean, I worked, so I worked there. So of course it wasn't like I wasn't dumping, but I was using the dumpster for unintended purposes.
So I do have a question about this. Is that actually against the law to use somebody else's dumpster? Because I like take my cardboard boxes to the church down the road, but I feel like I'm doing it. I feel like I'm going to get called. The cops are going to get called on me.
Now, are you putting it in a dumpster or one of those Mr. Mike or Mr. whatever it is?
It's labeled recycling.
Then if it's recycling, I don't think that's a problem because it's recycling. Now, if it was a dumpster, yes, because if you use a dumpster or so if you use a dumpster that doesn't belong to you or just like dump trash and like a private land or whatever, that is dumping, which is a very petty crime. Wow, I never knew. Yep.
Well, I technically do the same thing, Steven. I apparently do that all the time, but. Okay. What is the most illegal thing you've done without technically breaking the law? So in high school, we used to go around in TP houses.
Oh, nice. I've never done that.
Which is not illegal, but you can get in trouble for it if you get caught. And so for homecoming, we would go around and TP all the football boys' houses and their yards, and we would like shred them up, and it would be like where it's mildewy, and so you'd throw them in the yard, and then now they could never pick it up.
That's
it
gross.
Was so bad. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we did some bad things like that, but it technically wasn't breaking the law.
Nope, you're good. So this one on the legal theme today. So HPR asks, what is something you wish wasn't illegal?
What's something I wish wasn't illegal? I don't know. What do I wish wasn't illegal?
For me, it's jaywalking. I do it all the time, and it's my right as a pedestrian to cross the street whenever I want.
It's only illegal in America, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Because in other countries, they're like, we just walk across the street. What do you mean?
Right. And if I get
what do you mean is jaywalking?
And if I get plowed by a car, I should have listened to Barney and Mr. Rogers and everybody
it's their
who
own
says,
fault.
Look both ways before you cross the street. If I miss that one, that's on me. I'm 28 years old. Let me cross the street.
I don't know. What do I wish that wasn't illegal? I wish I wish that there was no speed limit.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I wish that there was no speed limit because some people piss me off, and I wish I could just drive. If I could drive 120 miles an hour from here to Iowa, I would get to Iowa in 5 hours instead of 10.
Just on the highway, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Bad to say, because if you're saying no speed limits at all, like I can go 60 in a neighborhood.
Oh,
and
no.
Obviously isn't good. Okay. Okay.
Yes. On the highway where people are walking.
Okay. Yes.
Or school buses are dropping little children off.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, I agree with that too. So thank you, team, for your questions. They were all awesome. So yeah, I think that about does it for today. We will see you all next week in episode 93, but you can for sure find us on all the social media platforms with the handle at The Stevia Show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcast app you might be listening to. If you are on YouTube, search for The Stevia Show and subscribe, and be sure to smash that bell icon so you get notifications on when we upload.
Make sure to check out our streams. We stream at least twice a week. Stream schedules are posted on all platforms monthly and on our Instagram weekly. Anchor producers are able to join multiplayer streams and in-game chat. And this week, a Mario Kart tournament starts Tuesday and Thursday. Be there or be square.
Be rectangled.
We would also like to thank our anchor producers for their continued support. You can support us for as little as 99 cents a month and receive exclusive Discord rewards and bonus episodes every month. And this month, it's my turn, and we are talking about 10 of the most scariest / creepiest places in the whole world.
Nice.
And I have pictures, so if you watch it on YouTube, you'll be able to kind of see some of the pictures.
I think you
and
said...
when I was doing these research, some of these gave me the heebie-jeebies.
It'd be funny if you were reading it and you're like, there's a village in northern Sweden that has a summer festival every 70 years or whatever, and
and they do these weird things, and
you're like,
people go missing. The Americans go missing.
Yeah, God, Midsummer. That was a trip. And finally, we also have merchandise available through our links in our bio and our show notes. So whenever you visit us online, just click the main link that we direct you to and click on merch, and we ship nationwide as well. So if you live in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, Buffalo, we mentioned the Jaguars once. I saw you squint.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and then New England. Who else did we have? Carolina and Iowa. There's 8. Boom. Yes. So we will ship to you there.
See, I already forgot all the places we talked about today, so I'm glad you can do that.
Oh, the places Dr. Seuss may say, oh, the places you will go.
Places you will go.
But we say, oh, the places we will ship things to you. So, yeah.
True.
We'll get things shipped out. All right. Well, I think that about does it for today. Thank you all so much for joining us this week. But for now, this is Steven.
This is Lydia.
And we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.